What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burnout Brighter podcast. This is episode 79. My name is Matt. I'll be your host for this evening's events. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Destiny. I'm going to look this way and hope that you're going to be there.
Hey.
Oh, it's so nice to hear your hey after a few weeks. I've missed it. No one says hey to me like you do, Destiny. And joined, as always, by my other lovely co-host, Big D Darren.
Hello.
On this week's show, we're going to be just doing a bit of catch-up. We're going to talk about what we've been up to, what's been going on, talk about some updates and changes that we got coming in the pipeline. We're also going to talk about Mario Day. We're going to talk about a new Switch. We're going to talk about PS Plus. We're going to talk about Avengers. We're going to talk about a Pokemon Direct. It's going to be a hype-ass show. But if you're looking for more content from us, go check us out on YouTube. We have new reviews and new stuff going up all the time. We're going to have more videos coming very, very soon. If you want to see more from us elsewhere, catch us on Facebook at the Burnout Brighter Podcast. And yeah, just search us up, Burnout Brighter. You'll find us. That's what I'm just saying. Darren, you just got to go clickety-clack, and you'll find us. You know what I mean?
You click, and then you type our name in, and then you hopefully find us, because that's how search engines work.
Yeah. That is how they work. You tap dance on the keys. Sorry. Go ahead.
Please, we will not be held liable for any damages to your keyboard or anything else if you do decide to tap dance on your keys. But yeah, please send a video if you do. We are going to start this week's podcast as we always do with a round of random questions. And I haven't had to hit you guys with questions for a few weeks now.
Oh my God, you're right.
So this is going to be fun. I'm going to start with Destiny.
Ooh.
You sound like a ghost. that was a Darren ass response.
It's been a while. I mean, he always sounds like a dying whale.
You guys have been growing so much chipper. On each other.
Stop!
I have a question. Here we go. To keep this ship afloat. See what I did there? Destiny, if you could take two characters from different video games and make them fall in love and create a new ship, which ship would you set sail on?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to require me to think a little bit. Like, what characters?
Okay, think about it.
Okay.
And I'll switch to Darren for now then.
All right,
okay, as
cool.
you think.
All right.
Okay. Darren.
Okay.
If I had to ask you a question, my friend, let me tell you, a question that I might ask you would be something like this.
You put yourself in this situation, right? You're like,
yeah, 100%.
Just decided to switch over to me.
Yeah, I tried to be nice to Destiny, and I've instead just completely shot myself in the foot. Here, Darren, that's a question.
Okay.
If you could shoot any video game character in the foot, which video game character would you shoot in the foot and why?
Damn, that's so easy. Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Well, there's so many characters that I hate so much. Well, who would I want to shoot in the foot?
Yeah. So keep in mind, this isn't gonna kill them. It might mess them up running wise. You know, it depends on the world that they live in and their advancements in foot technology. But yeah, which video game character would you want to shoot in the foot?
I'm trying to think who's my most recent point of frustration. Probably want to shoot. Man, I know this isn't a video game character, but anytime I think about shooting anything, I think about the minions. I want those minions dead.
Oh my God, I love the minions. What do you have against them?
I hate their faces. I hate when they make those boy sounds. I hate the way that they say banana.
Oh my God.
I want to shoot them in the eye.
Banana.
Banana.
Oh God.
Banana. Okay.
So I guess I'm going to shoot.
I'm sure they've been in a video game.
Yeah, but they're not a video game character.
You could shoot the video game equivalent of them and shoot a rabbit.
Yeah, that's a good... Thank you, Matt. I'm going to shoot a rabbit in the foot. Screw him.
But if you then collect that foot, does it become lucky or become cursed? Because like the rabbit's foot is like a source of luck. But
It's got to be cursed because they're like a cursed rabbit. They're not a real rabbit. They're rabid. So yeah, they're probably pretty cursed. They're gonna curse my nightmares. I'll tell you that much.
Probably. I hope you take that thing and wear it as a necklace as a sign of remembrance for that time that you shot a rabbit in the foot.
I will wear it as a skin suit.
The foot?
The whole skin.
Of just the foot? Are you assuming that the whole rabbit dies just because you shot the foot off?
I'm gonna skin the rabbit and I'm gonna wear him as a skin suit.
All right, we're off to a great start. Destiny, if you could ship 2 characters from different video games, which 2 characters would you ship and why?
I would ship Vincent from Final Fantasy VII.
What series is that? I've never heard you bring that up before.
I will punch you through the fucking screen. And I will ship Morgan from Darkstalkers.
Ooh. Okay, why?
I just feel like they would fit. Like,
they'd just make a cute couple.
He's kind of like a vampire and she's like a succubus, so I feel like they would like fit together. They
like feed off of each other and get
kind
no
of like
nutrients.
A vampire. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's got that darkness to him.
Yeah. He's got that darkness inside.
Yeah.
That's a good answer, Destiny. Look at you putting thought into your answers. I should start doing that with these questions.
Yeah, you're not.
No,
oh boy,
okay.
No. I have a question for Matt.
Okay, good.
Oh God.
Good.
All right, Matt. What came first? What came first, the chicken or the egg? No. Ew.
And me.
No. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
The egg.
No. Why? The rooster. Ha! Ha! Get it?
That's not a question. That's just a joke.
It was a question.
I mean, it was a question with a definitive answer, I guess.
Yeah, but it's still a question.
That's
fair. Started with what?
That's true. That's true.
The rooster.
Still a question. Yeah, the rooster.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
On this week's round of
that was such
questions.
an awkward pause of confusion after that. It was just supposed to be funny or somebody's supposed to be like, "Oh, Destiny, lame joke," but you guys got so serious after the fucking joke. That wasn't really a. I was like, Jesus, Matt asked the most ridiculous questions. I tell a simple joke and it's the fucking world ends.
Destiny, it's not like a round of random jokes. You know what I mean? That's why I was so caught off guard.
No, you weren't.
I just had to breathe for a second. I just felt so.
Shut up! You're being so dramatic. Moving on.
Lame joke, Destiny.
Yeah, see, it was a lame dad joke. You guys should have just laughed and be like, that was dumb, and move on. Why are we spending so much time on this?
Darren, let's
Never
laugh
again.
Ready? 1,
Never
2,
again.
3.
Darren didn't laugh. He didn't laugh.
I don't know who loses more at this point, Destiny. You or I.
I don't know.
I think we're on a stalemate here. Anyways, let's move on. We're going to now talk about things that we've been playing lately because now my confidence is shattered.
Well, because Darren didn't laugh. That's why.
In my defense, I had no clue what you said to me. Oh my God, focus camera. Sorry.
It wasn't me. It was Matt who said something to you.
No, it was Destiny.
No, it wasn't.
That was a question and a bad joke from Destiny. 2 for 2 today. Let's keep this train going.
Jesus.
Darren, what have you been playing lately? What's going on?
I have actually been playing a couple indie games. 3 indie games, although 2 of them are just sequels of each other, or related. I played through the entire Little Nightmares series. Have you heard of that?
I keep hearing about that. Is it good?
The first one was creepy.
Yeah, I love them. The second game is even scarier than the first one.
Really?
It's so freaky, Destiny, that I want you to play it. I want to force you to just play through the first level and hear you scream.
I probably will. I freaked out with the long finger thing. The guy with the long fingers in the first one.
Yeah, I was playing it.
What kind of game is it? What kind of game is it? I keep hearing people talk about the second one now. Is it
It's a horror game,
Limbo-esque, or like
definitely.
Yeah, it's very similar to like Limbo or Inside. Like it's a side-scrolling kind of puzzle adventure game. Although it actually is three-dimensional. Like you're in diorama rooms, so you have three degrees of movement. But it's Little Nightmares because it's about you're playing a little kid and the world's a nightmare. And I think that it does the whole like creepy pasta horror for kids thing really well because it's like genuinely unsettling and has like a really unique like art style for like the denizens of the world. um and the first game you're just playing this girl named Six on a awful ship, and that's
bad
pretty much
ship.
the whole game. And then the second game, you're playing this boy named Mono.
7.
And
Damn it.
no, not saying Mono. Didn't see that one coming. Um, and it's not in a ship. You're actually like in a world, so you get to see more of the world outside the ship that you saw in the first game. And they're like very short. They're only like 4 hours long each. Maybe the second one's a little bit longer than the first one. But if you like spooky horror, the puzzles are not too complicated. And you just
Darren,
want to be
should
in
I
like
play this game?
I mean, I think, you don't really like horror and you don't really like puzzles, so I want to say no. But
I don't mind horror if it's done cool, but are the puzzles gonna break me? That's what I want to know. Am I gonna get mad at these puzzles?
They're not really hard.
No, they're not really that hard. There's a couple times in the game where there's some more difficult puzzles.
Maybe you should like watch a preview of the game first, Matt, and then
There's
see
demos.
if you want to play it. Yeah.
There's demos.
There's a demo? Okay, I'll try the demo. I'll try the demo.
There's I played the first one on PS4 and I played the second one on Switch, but I think they're both on Switch and they're both on PS4, so just pick whatever platform you want to play it on.
Okay.
I highly recommend them if you want a short romp through a terrifying child's nightmare. Very, very cool, very atmospheric, very fun. And then the other game, I'm not finished yet, but I think I'm getting close to the end. I picked up a random game called Minute. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, that's the one that's like you have 60 seconds to live, right? And you're like constantly trying to get a little bit further.
Yes. It's a game.
I downloaded that on Game Pass, and I keep like thinking about starting it, and I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, I needed a game. I was just like randomly felt like I was getting a little bit burnt out from playing Final Fantasy like every single goddamn day of my life. So I needed like a quick palate cleanser to like play something else while I'm still working through Final Fantasy. And it's exactly like you described. It's exactly like The Legend of Zelda, except if you died in 60 seconds. And you only have 60 seconds to beat the game, but the way it works is that within those 60 seconds, maybe you'll find an item. And if you find that item, it carries over. So you have it the next time you respawn. So you're slowly collecting things that make other things faster and expand the world. And then you also find like other start points. So you can choose where you start your 60 seconds. And that one, the puzzles are, it's virtually no combat. There is some combat, but the focus is on the puzzle of solving the world in 60 seconds. And I really, really like it, although I've already found one puzzle that I had to look up on the internet to actually figure it out. It was a little too hard for me. It involved running around a desert randomly until something happened. And I didn't find that very fun. But everything else has been really cool. I've only been playing it for like a couple hours, and I think I'm almost finished it, but I got it for like $1 when it was on sale. So like I'm having a blast.
I've heard really, really good things about it. It's been like I said, on my Xbox like cross media bar or whatever for a while, and I just haven't actually pressed start yet. But yeah, I've heard great things about the game. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's always really cheap. If it's on sale, like, and you like Zelda puzzle stuff, you can tell I like puzzles. So, and also if you don't mind the black and white, very simple, like sprite-based art style, it's great. It's good time.
Good. Well, Darren, that's good. I'm glad you've been playing a whole bunch of indies and Destiny.
Thanks.
What about you? What's been going on?
Well, as you know, I moved back to the US And I lost my kitty cat.
Yeah.
And it's just been like really rough. But randomly, okay, so I don't know if it's a sign or whatever, but there's been this little gray cat like outside. Like he started coming around my best friend's house like maybe a week ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like Zuri passed away on a Friday, and this cat showed up like Monday, and he never came close to the house until like I got here, and like the day he was outside, like we went outside and he came up to the house and everything, and he's super friendly. So we took him to see if like he's probably like 7 months or something. We took him
He's
to
a
the vet.
baby.
He's a baby, to see if like he was chipped or if he belonged to someone, because he's so nice, like so like being okay with people, and he's not chipped, and he obviously doesn't belong to anybody. I don't know. I cried today because it's
Are you gonna keep him?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's
losing
really
a pet
hard.
fucking sucks. I lost my childhood dog a few years ago, and it's just like, it's such an like all-encompassing shitty feeling, and it makes me so mad when people are like, it's just an animal. It's like, no, that fucking that dog.
Yeah,
in
you
it's
know,
like, those are parts of our families. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so simple.
and like I had her for so long, so it's like it's always just been like it's just been me and her for like such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
No,
it's
it's
okay. Don't be sorry. What are
okay.
you sorry for? So this new kitty,
yeah.
where is it at now? Like, are you guys holding on to it for the time being while you decide,
Yeah,
or did you like?
we're gonna take him to the vet tomorrow, just to get him checked out and see if he's been spayed and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
we named him Pugsley.
Damn it! You already named it.
Yeah.
I wanted to start a petition to name it Matt Jr. I didn't even have an opportunity to.
We named him Pugsley after the Addams family. You know, the little boy in the Addams family.
You
Yeah.
could have named it after Matt from the Burn Up Brighter podcast family.
No, that's a person name. What pets do you know are named Matthew or Matt?
Listen, Destiny, you are a trailblazer. You are one to set a new standard, a new precedent.
Maybe we'll give him a middle name. Maybe his name will be Pugsley Matt.
I would accept MJ, like Matt Jr.
Okay.
MJ?
No, but Pugsley Matthew Matthias. Pugsley Matthias.
Matthias. What the hell? That sounds like a white person named that cat.
Well, he's named after a white person in the Addams family.
Oh,
Pugsley
right.
Matthias.
I don't remember the Addams family very well.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
But yeah. So
I'll accept Pugsley Matthias.
Okay. So yeah. So that's been going on, and then I did play an indie game. It's called Alba, a wildlife adventure. It's super cute, and it's by Us2 Games, and it was released in December of last year. It's on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and it's basically like a wildlife adventure. It's open world, and
I remember
you basically
seeing this.
Yeah, it's so
looks
cute.
Adorable.
It is so cute. So you're playing this little girl, and she's visiting her grandparents, and obviously her grandparents are like really into nature and stuff. So like they give her this guide, and then like you go around like taking pictures and scanning things and like finding out things, and then there's like little missions. Like at one point, like this dolphin gets like washed up on. This is at the very beginning. It gets washed up on the beach, and then you have to go get your grandfather and like 5 other people who live on this small like little island to help you get the dolphin back in the water. And the thing is that like it's all like it's obviously Spanish, so like she calls her grandmother abuela and stuff like that. It's so cute, and there's so much culture just in this little game. It's super adorable. So and it's relaxing. So I've been playing that, and then you should check it out if you just like want something chill to play. Like it's so cute. And there's like points where it's like, okay, if you have to say yes to your abuelo, they'll ask you a question. You could shake your head or like nod up and down, and like you have to do that to like answer questions and things like that. It's
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
So I've been playing that, and then my friend Paul has been playing Immortal Phoenix Rising.
Yeah,
right?
Paul.
Okay, listen, he does not like it. I mean, he's obsessed with it, but he doesn't like it because he says it's a rip off of Breath of the Wild. Like he says it's it because I didn't play very much of Breath of the Wild, but he's like, no, it's like a total rip. And he's like showing me stuff. He's like, you see this mountain? There's a mountain just like this in Hyrule, blah, 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 blah. So this is how he's playing the game, which I never would have played it. He's finding ways to break the game while he's playing it, right?
Mhm.
So when
Sounds
I
about
was
right.
playing it, I was like, oh man, I can't get to the next part until I do all this shit with Athena, right?
Right.
He's already like gotten to like parts that you're not even supposed to get to, and he's already done things that you're not supposed to do yet. So when he goes back and speaks to like whatever god, they're like, oh, you have to do this, and his character, because like the way they program the game is like,
I did that
I
already.
already did that, and she's like, oh, okay.
Even though he didn't.
No,
Oh,
he
man.
did.
Yeah,
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
There's like,
Right.
there's like,
Yeah.
I had that happen a few times. Where if like when I was just exploring, I'd come across like a puzzle type thing, and I do it, and then after the like, I would get an item, and I'd be like, what the hell can I do with this? And then you go to your next like mission checkpoint, they're like, you need to find this, and my character would be like, I have it.
You're like, oh,
And then
okay.
they'll be like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
this
But, like-
Paul guy, he sounds like my kind of guy. I gotta meet this Paul.
Bruh, he's like, when watching him play, because I've been watching him play the game, right? I get so mad. He is so OP right now. Like,
You know what?
What?
Destiny, can I drop a hot take for you real quick
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
Immortals does more right than Breath of the Wild does. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. It has a better sense of progression. It has better combat. It has better humor. Immortals doesn't do
Well, no,
everything.
I don't think it's bad. Like, this is
No.
Paul. Like, Paul
I know.
says this.
I'm saying, and I'm going
He's
to go
saying
on
this to
record
bait me.
here.
He's saying this to
I'm going to
bait
go on
me.
record here.
Oh,
Immortals does
God.
more right than Breath of the Wild does.
If you're
I'm not saying
saying
it's
this,
an overall better game, but it
Oh
does
my
more
God.
right than Breath of the Wild does.
Okay.
if you're saying
Wait,
this
before-
to make
wait,
me
wait,
play the game,
Wait, before you guys start. Just let me finish.
okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Or so, I'm
And-
sorry.
Before you start.
Okay. So like, I didn't realize that people like I had heard of speed runs before, but I didn't really understand what they were. So then he showed me someone playing Breath of the Wild and finishing the game in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away. And I'm like, how do people find out how to do this shit while they're
It's
playing the
wild.
game? It is wild. Like there's this one point where this guy is like, he's hitting this rock, like this boulder, like a lot, right? And like Paul's explaining it to me, and I'm just like, whatever. And then he like takes an arrow to project the boulder where he wants it to go. And he gets on the boulder and he hits it. And this fucking boulder goes flying 100 feet in the air. And like, he's just sailing through the air to where he wants to be. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then like, there's this thing where if you keep changing weapons, it like changes the size of your character a little bit, but like you don't really see it. So you can like phase through walls into places that you're not supposed. Guys,
It's wild. Man.
mind blown. Did not
Yeah.
even know. So that's what he's doing in Phoenix. Like he's just forcing himself through places that he's not supposed to be, and it's just amazing to watch.
That's kind of fun. Yeah, like I get why people do speedrunning because it's pretty exciting to feel like you've got like complete mastery over the game itself and you're like
Yeah.
breaking it and bending it to your will.
Yeah, like he's so into that.
That's really cool. I'm not going to play the game, by the way, Matt. You trying to bait me
Darren.
into playing the game. It's not gonna make me play it.
There's a demo. There's a
Yeah.
demo.
There is a demo.
Just try the demo.
I'm not interested in playing Breath of the Wild sloppy seconds.
That's good
Oh my
because you're not going
God.
to find it. You're not going to find that in Immortals.
I think I should
You're
like
gonna find-
ask Paul
you're
to
gonna
come
find-
on.
You're going to find better combat and better sense of progression in Breath of the Wild.
So you
Better
guys can
combat.
talk.
I've played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I understand what you mean by better
Oh my God,
combat, air quotes.
He mentioned Assassin's Creed as well. he was just like, this game copied so much, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I liked
And
it.
somehow it does a lot better than a lot of those other games does.
Like,
I think it's doing very well.
Yeah.
I
When
don't
Breath of the
know.
Wild came out, I was very excited for other games to start taking pieces because I think there's a lot of things that could be learned from Breath of the Wild's world design. What I wasn't expecting is developers to just literally copy paste Breath of the Wild into another game. It's like it's like, Mom, I want to play Breath of the Wild, and then Mom's like, we've got Breath of the Wild at home, and at home
And they
is
go home and they
Immortals
have
Phoenix
actual
Rising.
Breath of the Wild.
So is it really like a rip? Okay.
It is.
Okay. Listen.
It borrows it. There's no denying that it borrows a lot from it. Like, there's no denying that. I just think it does.
It stole the tablet powers.
That's gaming, dude. That's gaming.
It stole the actual abilities.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, you've got magnesis. You've got like all that kind of crap. I've seen video footage of people using the like power in the game where you like lift up metal objects and like move them around.
But that's not in any other game?
Well, that was in Breath of the Wild, like in the exact same functionality.
I mean, but that sounds like something that would be in other games too, like puzzle games.
No.
Are you
Something I
sure?
can think of.
I'm trying to think of an example now too, and I'm also failing.
Yeah.
Portal. Maybe.
No.
So Breath of the Wild is the only one that used like magic powers to lift heavy things.
No, not like that, but like it's the same implementation. Like it's specifically like metallic objects. It's got the same animation when you do it.
Yeah, there's no denying that it definitely borrows a lot from Breath of the Wild. Like, I will not deny that in any stretch of the imagination. I just think it does a lot better.
That's fair.
That's all.
I'll let you have the last.
I think people should like play both games. Like, honestly, I know you did, but I mean, like, I think people should play both games and then like state their opinions. You know what I mean? Like, if it feels exactly the same, then you could be like, yeah, like I played both of them and it's a rip. Like Paul played both and he's like, it's a fucking rip.
Yeah,
that's, you know what I'm saying. So just try the demo.
What Destiny's trying to say is that I have no credibility because I never played Immortals Phoenix Rising.
That's not what I'm saying. Like, obviously you have credibility because you're like a hardcore gamer. I'm just saying if you play it, like, give it a chance and you might like it and you might not feel like, yeah, see?
I'm teasing. No, I agree. I think that I should play it to get the
this
full
is about to be like domestic abuse already. Like, we're not even like a couple, and I was just like, oh, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing.
Ready to throw hands.
Yeah.
No, but no, there's a lot to love in Breath of the Wild. It's just that, like, maybe it's also a bit of recency bias. Maybe I'll go back to Breath of the Wild and give it another go, even though I already finished it, just to kind of make sure that my statements stand. But I do think that Immortals gets a lot of shit undeservedly.
I think they're both very well done. Like,
of course,
the look of them and everything like that. But like, I didn't play Breath of the Wild. I've watched people play Breath of the Wild, but like, I said when we did our review, I said it really reminded me of it. You know, when we posted our review, like the open world thing. So I can see what you're saying, Darren. But I just think you should give it a chance. You might like it. Like, Paul hates on it, but he's fucking obsessed with this game. Maybe just go and break it.
Well, that's the kind of game that I could see us getting as like a PlayStation Plus freebie at some point. So like, I bet you like a few months down the line, we might get it for free. If we get it for free, I'll play it. If it goes on heavy discount, I'll consider it. But
Darren, if it goes on heavy discount, I'll buy it for you. Just try it.
Great. Good.
Deal.
Oh, also, before I ask you what you've been up to, I was in the process. Before I ask you what you've been up to, Matt, I also wanted to say I'd be remiss if I did not tell you both that my mom started playing Nuts because she saw it in your review. And she hates it so much. She's like mad that she bought it. Yeah, she really doesn't like it.
Really? What doesn't she like about it?
The controls are really bad. And it's really glitchy. Like she's gotten her like camera like jammed in places, like she can't like pick it up and stuff like that.
Really?
Aw.
Yeah, she's had
That's
some
super
issues with like
weird.
glitches. But
I had frame rate issues, but outside of that, I didn't have anything
yeah.
that
Also, she doesn't like
breaking.
that the save system won't let you save in between chapters. You have to do a chapter at a time,
Yeah.
otherwise it won't save, and she finds that really
Yeah.
frustrating. But
You
I'm
know what
going
she
to
should play?
what?
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
I don't even know why I said what. I knew you were going to say that. I'm probably gonna play Nuts after I'm done Minute. I'm gonna actually play it, and I'll tell you my opinion of it as well.
Yeah, that could be what like I actually never realized the between chapter thing because I pretty much marathoned the game because like when I saw the game was only about like 4-ish hours, I was like, I'm just gonna truck through it.
Yeah.
So that never stood out to me actually, but that's a good point. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Matt,
Yeah.
what have you been up to?
I've been playing a whole bunch of stuff actually. First I'm going to start with Concrete Genie.
Hey.
I'm not gonna get into spoilers unless you want me to. I was disappointed.
Really?
I loved the first 2/3 of that game, and the final chapter or like the final third of the game, I feel really drops the ball. I feel like they try and tell the story about kind of like trauma and bullying, and what it ends up doing is it being like very surface level and just kind of wraps up too cleanly and too easily for trying to tell this type of story.
Right.
It feels like it does like a lot of hand waving at bullying and trauma instead of actually taking a bit of a deeper look at these issues, which is kind of what I expected from it, given the type of game that it seemed to be setting itself up as. And like, there are certain points of the game that just actually, I can't remember the last time a game made me angry. Like, not because it was so difficult or not because of anything, but like the way that it handles certain stuff, like actually made me upset.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I really really wanted to love it, and I think it's still a good game. Especially like the first 2/3 of it are super special, but like the last third of it kind of just, it feels like it throws a lot of the stuff that it was building up away and instead goes for like a more actiony route, which I don't think what this game ever should have done.
Right.
It actually made me upset. Like there were points where I wanted to stop playing it, and I was just like, I know I'm close to the end. Like maybe it'll kind of redeem itself in the final bit, but yeah, I was disappointed, and I don't want to get into spoilers. Maybe Darren, if you play it, we can have like a smaller spoiler cast on it.
That's something that my mom actually played, and I know all the spoilers already.
Yeah. It made me upset. It made me angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah,
based on knowing where it goes, I can see why.
Yeah. I the game is beautiful. The imagery is awesome. A lot of the personality that comes from the character, from the like your painting characters, like the I'm forgetting their names, but like the monsters that kind of come to life to help you, are wonderful. They're adorable. The genies, thank you. Yeah, Concrete Genie. There you go. But everything surrounding the rest of the kids just made me upset. So yeah, I wanted to love it. I went into it really excited about it because it's something that I've been really looking forward to for a long time, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. And maybe with a bit of time and with a bit of room to digest on it, maybe I'll feel differently. But right now, it did not leave a good feeling for me.
That's a shame. Sorry about that.
Sucks. Yeah. And then I started Yakuza Kiwami 2. I thought I'd be done with Yakuza right now, but I just want to play more.
Just keep coming back for
7
more.
A few weeks ago, and finishing Judgment a little bit ago. Yeah, like I'm just like I want more. I'm gonna start Kiwami 2. Only a couple hours in, it's more Yakuza, which is not a bad thing. I love it. Having a great time with it. And there was something else that I played that I wanted to bring up. Sackboy. Sen and I continue on through Sackboy. That game is so slept on. It's so slept on. It's so well done. Yeah, really. We just did a level that was entirely set to Britney Spears' Toxic. And it was awesome. They do a lot of really cool stuff with licensed music in that game. But yeah, like just if you're looking for a fun co-op game, something to play with friends, family, or loved one, that game is really, really wonderful. It really does it's very similar to Super Mario 3D World, not in a bad way. That game is great. I'm really enjoying it, like pleasantly surprised, because I did not go into it with the highest expectations, but I was like, I want to play something, right? And
I didn't even know
great.
that there was licensed music in the game.
Yeah, each world has a level set to an actual song.
What? Wow.
And the timing of the levels goes along with the beats of the song, and it's fantastically well done. I was shocked the first time they did it, and then they do it at least once in every world.
Wow.
Oh, and the last thing I wanted to talk about, I picked up Persona 4 Golden again. This time with the intent on platinuming it. I'm not that far away. It's obviously going to take me a while to get through the rest of this playthrough, because I had started a New Game Plus a couple of years ago and only got a couple hours in, and then went on to play other things. But I picked it back up, and I'm intent on making it because I want to see, after playing Persona 5 and playing Persona 5 Strikers, I want to see how much of it is just, my memories and how much of it is the game itself. So I want to do a replay of it. And so far, it's still fucking awesome. It's more Persona,
Nice.
which I love so much. But what we're going to be doing on the rest of this episode is we're just going to be doing a bit of a catch-up. We're just going to talk to each other, see what's been going on. We have some cool stuff in the works, which we're going to talk about a little bit. And yeah, so Darren, I'm gonna throw to you first. How have you been? What's been going on? How's you're in school? School's going okay? How are you doing?
Yeah. I have to say, I thought that going to school in quarantine would be weird, and it is. And I think obviously I would prefer to be in school in person, but it's been really nice. I mean, and if anyone's curious why I've been gone from I feel like I've been on every other episode recently. I've missed a lot of episodes, and it's because of school. I've just had a lot of assignments to do, and I've been doing some practicum at the same time as some of our episodes while we were still recording at a different time. But it's been nice giving me something to do while I'm in quarantine. I feel like I'm not, I'm busy. I'm being distracted, but it's been I've been very, very busy, and school is not something that I thought I would ever do again, because I hated school so much the first time. And it is better the second time. But
And how much of that do you think is just you being in a different place? Is that kind of everything? Is that the biggest reason? Is it because maybe now you're studying something that you care more about, or why do you think you feel better about it now than before?
yeah, I think it's half something that I care more about, and the other half being, I'm just better prepared. I've been an adult for a period of time where I've had jobs, I've had I've traveled, I've done stuff that gave me more discipline. But I'm so busy. There's something about school that just sucks your time away. And even though I worked for more hours in a full-time job, I felt like I had more free time with the full-time job. Because the problem with school is work time is all the time. I'll be working on weekends, I'll be working at night, I'll be working during the day. And it's just you can never predict when you're going to be free. You basically can't really make good predictions of when your free time's going to be. So you're kind of just never breaking. But
Well, I also feel because
good.
You have looming deadlines often, which you've been talking about, right? Just trying to prepare yourself to be ready for a certain time and place. It doesn't really matter if that time and place is Monday at 9 a.m. If you have an assignment to turn in, you don't really have a weekend, right? It's
exactly. In fact, I have an assignment due right after we're finished recording this podcast that I got to go finish. But
there you go.
It's almost done. I've only got to write a paragraph more, but
Almost there.
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about this later after we check in with Destiny, who's been so quiet because I've been sucking up all this audio because I love the sound of
No,
my own
not
voice
at
so much.
all. I'm like trying to stay awake. Not because you're boring, but that came out bad. I'm just really tired.
I
Sorry.
totally understand. But yeah, no, I was just gonna say like I got a new webcam, which
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
like because we'll talk about this later where we want to transition to have more video spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, just trying to get stuff ready. Oh, and like I got new. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. That's another thing.
No, what? You sounded super excited.
Because I got a new board game.
So
I got the
that's great.
Bloodborne
What
board
board
game.
game did you get?
That's
The-
cool.
The Bloodborne board game. I
That's a
kickstarted
mouthful.
it like
Bloodborne
2
board
years
game.
ago.
Bloodborne.
The Bloodborne
Bloodborne board game. Bloodborne board game.
Bloodborne board game. Bloodborne board game. Bloodborne board game.
So sorry, Kickstarter.
I kickstarted the Bloodborne board game 2 years ago, and it finally arrived. And thankfully, I can play it single player. I am one of those people that
Oh, really?
has now started playing Bloodborne.
Really?
Oh my god, Bloodborne. I'm trying to say.
See?
Just call it the BB
Bloodborne
board game. BB
The-
board game. They all know it's
board
Bloodborne.
game.
The
Bloodborne
BBG,
BB.
or Bloodborne's one word, so the BBG, the
Yeah.
big board game. The
Bloodborne board game.
I gotta stop saying the words Bloodborne board game. Anyways, I got the game. I'm one of those people that plays board games by themselves now because I have to be. Although I got Tabletop Simulator and someone modded the Bloodborne board game into Tabletop Simulator, because I'm going to see if I can actually try and play virtually with
Wait,
somebody.
I'm confused. Is this an actual board game?
This is
Or is it like on the computer?
it's a physical board game. Like it's under my bed
Oh.
right now, and I would grab it if I wasn't connected to this computer.
Right.
It's
Okay.
huge.
Because you said
It-
simulated, and I was very confused.
So the reason I said that is because I have to play by myself because I have no one to play with.
Hold on, before you go
my-
on to the simulation, how does that work playing by yourself? Like, is there like a story you're following, or is there like how does that work
Yes.
playing that by yourself?
Yes. And sorry for my burst of vocal energy because I've said the words Bloodborne board game so much that every time I try and say a word that starts with B, I end up saying Bloodborne. I was going to say my brother came over, almost said my Bloodborne came over.
My
My
Bloodborne board
brother-
game came over.
It's a cooperative board game. So you're
Mhm.
trying to beat the board. And so it's balanced so that since you're beating the game, you're not beating somebody else. There's no
Right.
reason why you can't play it by yourself.
Okay.
Interesting.
So there's a story and there's actually like missions and you're playing and you'll have to make choices. Like you'll run into a character on the board and they'll ask you to do something and you could do two things. And if depending on your choice, something different will happen and that carries over to the next time you play the game. So it's got legacy
That's
elements
so
to it.
cool.
And I said virtual because there's a game on Steam called Tabletop Simulator, which is a simulated tabletop for board games. And they have some games that are officially supported that you can pay for. But there's also people that have modded games into it. And some people have modified BBG into it. So if somebody else has a copy of Tabletop
Big
Simulator,
beautiful girls.
Sorry, what's
big
BBG?
beautiful girls. Is BBG anything? Is there an urban dictionary for BBG?
It's probably there. Yeah, there probably is.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google this BBG.
I hope we don't regret this.
Bikini Body Guide.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, apparently it's a workout program by Kayla. It seems for getting your bikini body guide. It's apparently also beautiful baby girl.
Beautiful baby girl.
Better be going.
Better be
Is
going.
another
Okay.
way. I'm gonna go to Urban Dictionary now. But Darren, please continue telling us about your BBG.
So if
Your baby
you
girl.
If you have a copy of Tabletop Simulator, you too can get your beautiful bikini guide and work yourself out for summer. But yeah, you can play with me online. Is the point I'm trying to
That's
make.
cool.
Matt, you're making a
I'd
face.
actually be down to try that with you. So I'm laughing because I
You
Urban
found
Dictionary
what it-
BBG.
Yeah.
And beautiful baby girl is the top definition. The sentence that is giving me is get the BBG neck gator and mug. I don't know what that means.
What?
But it made me laugh. And if I go down to the second definition for baby girl, which they have written out capital B, small a, capital B, small y, and then the word girl.
Right.
Where
Baby
BBG stands
girl.
for baby girl.
Nice.
And,
Well, you learn something new every day. It feels like Sesame Street right now.
I feel like I should include Bloodborne board game in this definition.
Oh yeah.
Well, Darren, I'd actually be down to try the Bloodborne board game with you online. I think that'd be fun.
Yes, please. Actually, that'd be great. Aaron and Sarah have expressed interest in playing it with us, so maybe we could get the four of us together and play some BBG.
Yeah, we should do a stream of even the three of us doing so. It doesn't have to be the Bloodborne board game, but that sounds like a cool way to do like a let's play, like an online.
Yeah, virtual board gaming and tabletop simulator. It's only $20. It's pretty cheap.
That's not bad at all.
$20? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
The fuck you
Oh
talking
my
about?
god.
What the fuck do you mean?
Well, Darren, I'm glad school is going well because that's how this whole tangent started.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's going well, and I'm glad that you feel more prepared because that's honestly something that like I've thought about going back to school and going back. I think I have similar feelings that you did going back. It's just kind of like it's so daunting. So like I'm super proud that you did it because like
Thanks.
it's something that I think about and I just don't know. I just don't know. You know what I mean?
It makes me anxious. It's a big commitment. It's a big commitment. My debt has increased, but ultimately, it's for me to have, a career at the end of this that I want to do, assuming that I don't just become, a podcaster full time. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, this is just your plan B, because plan A is podcaster full time.
Yeah.
His plan
BBG.
BBG. Plan BBG.
Plan BBG. So, Destiny, you have now moved back to the States, as you told us at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
What's next? What's in the cards? What do you want to do?
Oh my god, this is like the second time I got this question. Like my dad asked me, so what are you doing? Like when you're settling down? And I was like, I don't know.
Your dad and I were just messaging the other day, and he's like,
yeah, right.
ask Destiny on the podcast about what she's gonna do.
It would be hilarious.
And I was like, thanks, Dad Destiny. Looking forward to your chitlins, and that was our conversation. It was beautiful.
That is not. You know what, Matt? You know what? I'm gonna call my dad right now.
Oh God.
On podcast, and I'm going because I want everyone to listen to him deny the fact. We'll see if he answers. Okay, because he's not gonna cook chitlin. Then we can just end this. We can end it for good.
Are you actually gonna call?
The
please,
phone's ringing.
please
yeah,
call.
I'm calling right now.
Oh my God! Finally, something I've done is coming to bite me in the ass.
Yeah.
Daddy. So I have this friend named Matt. He's Canadian. He's
Hi,
also
Mr.
white.
Destiny.
He can't hear you, Matt.
Damn it.
He wants to know if you'll cook him chitlins, and I've told him many times that you wouldn't. So I just want you to say it live because we're doing the podcast now. Can you just explain to him that you're not?
Fuck no! You ain't never.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Okay, let me just say it again. He said, fuck no. Okay. Yeah.
Where the fuck he found the money? He don't know about goddamn shit.
I don't, because I brought it up once, and so he's like, he really wanted to try it, and then he's like, he's going to ask you to do it, and I was like, there's no way. My dad's not going to do that.
Yeah, tell him how goddamn black people don't do fucking shit.
See? There you go. He knows now. Thank you, Daddy.
All right.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Matt.
You'll never be able to meet her dad ever.
I'm gonna go and be like, "Hi, sir. My name is Darren. That other one with the beard, that's Matt. He wanted the chitlins."
He's not mad. That's just how he talks.
I'm not worried about him being mad.
Yeah, he's not upset.
You know, sometimes when your dreams just get thrown on the floor and stomped on, that's kind of what I feel right now.
Well, I had tried to warn you many times. Now everybody knows that my dad will not cook you chitlins.
Thank you so much, Destiny, for doing that. That was amazing.
You're welcome. All right,
Darren, you seem so much happier now than when I brought up Immortals and Breath of the Wild. I feel like this is like a sort of vindication here.
My cheeks hurt from smiling.
You know, we talked about not using the video for this podcast. I might have to turn around and veto that because
at least put in that last part.
My soul hurts.
Yeah, they smell really bad. Like they smell your entire house up. But so my dad asked me the same thing, and I told him the same thing I'm going to tell you guys. I have no idea. You guys can't see it, but Matt's in tears. He's like bawling right now from the lack of chitlins he will not be getting from the Cleveland household. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I don't know what's next. Like, I mean, because of COVID, it's really hard for me to decide what I'm going to be doing or where I'm going to be living. Like, I know for sure I'm going to your wedding if that's still happening because, you know, with COVID, I know I want to like come up to Canada and visit. So all of these things I want to do, it's all very dependent on like where the world is at and, you know, during this pandemic. What I would like to do moving forward is focus more on the webcomic now that I have like more free time.
Yes.
Focus on our podcast. Like I said, I got a ring light so I can have better lighting for when we do the video. I'm ordering bookshelves. I'm like purging a lot of stuff because I had an apartment before I came to Korea. And so all of that stuff went into storage. So now I'm like getting rid of all of that stuff and discovering a bunch of shit I didn't realize I had. Like, do people even use DVDs anymore? So like things like that. Yeah, and that's why I couldn't be on video because my room is a disaster. Like, you guys don't understand. I have so many boxes of things that I just need to donate. And then my dad's like, well, I'm bringing this other shit up there that you've had in the house. And I'm like, what shit? And he's like your prom dress. And I'm like, no, just keep it. He's like, I'm not keeping it. So, well, he's bringing all that stuff up. And I'm like, can you like do that like next month? Because this is too much. Like, I feel overwhelmed. So he's going to do that. And basically it's been giving me something to do. So I'm not like super sad and like, because I keep talking to like our co-teacher Esther. And every time I talk to her, she makes me like really fucking sad. Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, you have to come back so we can find a different job together. And so I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, okay, because I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So,
fine.
Yeah, that's,
So those are some long-term goals. What about just the next few weeks? Like let's, because I know like the big long-term goals, that's big, it's daunting, right? But let's say the next few weeks, let's say the next month, like you're going to finish getting your room together. You're going to work some more
finish
on stuff.
Getting the room together, set up these bookcases. So like I have a nice background. You guys are going to be amazed when you see all like the shit I have, like my like cute little baby Yoda. He is massive. And like my Astro Boy statues and
Can you please also hang your prom dress in your background? Because I really want
it's
to see
really
it.
big. It looks like a Cinderella dress. Like it's really, really big and poofy.
Don't understand why you're saying no.
Because no. But I will post a picture of me in my prom dress so you guys can see what it looked like. That was like forever ago. Okay.
That was my ultimate end goal anyway.
So
I have to have some win after getting my chitlins hopes dashed.
You guys, I'm going to laugh about that forever when I actually hear the playback of it. It's going to be beautiful because nobody's going to expect my dad to actually talk. And then they're going to understand. When they hear him talk, they're going to know why I am the way I am.
You know, when you
picked
called
that up
him,
real good.
when you called him, there was a small part of me that was like, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes.
Yeah, sure, Matt. I'll cook you chitlins. Just come on over.
even
Like,
even
He
if
was
like,
like,
off air, you'd be like, fuck
"Fuck
no, I'm
no."
not. Like, but there was a small part of me that was like, go with the gag, go with the gag, go with the gag. He did not go with the gag.
No.
Yeah,
They
I'll have to
smell
message him about
awful.
this after.
I
Also-
will. He'll just laugh.
what's it like to be back in the U.S.? When was the last time you were?
Yo, I'm
the
like
US.
not happy to be here. Like,
Yeah,
I'm happy to be out of Korea, but I'm not happy to be in the US, if that makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
I'm really irritated with just like people in the way like they're not wearing masks properly. Like, it's a federal law now in the US that you have to wear it in like airports. And there's still people not fucking wearing their mask in airports. There's people just wearing it over their mouth and not their nose. And it's like, what is the point?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then like, okay, I'm just gonna tell this quick story. So I went into AT&T because I just wanted to check to see if I could upgrade my phone, which I can because it's been like 5 years.
Mhm.
Right.
And the guy's like, what's your phone number? So I give him my phone number, and then he's like, I need your ID. And I was like, what? And he's like, I need your driver's license. And I was like, why do you need my driver's license? Like, I gave you my phone number. Like, just,
Yeah.
you see, this is my fucking, because he was like, who is this? He says my dad's name and then my name. And I'm like, I'm Destiny. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a prick too. So I hope you listen to this, you fucking prick. Whoever you are, I don't know your name, but you work at AT&T and you work at AT&T in Murfreesboro near Nashville. I hope you listen.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Steve. I'm gonna name him Steve.
Yeah, you dickhead. Anyway, so I give him my license, and because I have not been in the US, my license has expired because I haven't
Right.
used it.
Yeah.
So he's like, I can't take this. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? You see my face, you see it's my name. All I want you to do is to look up and see if I can update my phone. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, obviously it's not fraudulent. He wouldn't do it.
Oh my
He
god.
wouldn't do it. And I was
Such
just
effort
like,
for a phone number.
Right. Like, it was so dumb, and it was right there on his screen. So I was like, when did you guys start doing this? He's like, we've always done it. And I was like, no, you fucking haven't always done it. Like, this is new. So I called my dad, and I was super upset, and I was like bitching and whatever. And my dad's like, all right, I'll go down, I'll see. So he goes to AT&T because my dad has never told me that they asked him for his ID, because they fucking don't.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So, like, he asked about it, and they were like, oh, yeah, it's something new that they started doing because of, like, fraud and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's right, Steve, you lying piece of shit.
We've always done this.
Yeah. Like, I was
Stupid
super
Steve.
mad. So I'm just like, I'm here, but I don't want to go out because people aren't, like, properly, like, taking the precautions that they need to take. I've only been to the store once. I was to get some bedroom slippers and like the LED light. Everything else, I'm just ordering through Amazon,
Yeah.
and I'm just staying in the house. Like, that's it.
That's
I feel like
fair.
that's just kind of status quo for the time being, right? I mean, I don't know what else you could be doing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, oh my god, now
because I
that
had
you
to
think
take
about
the
it,
test.
I haven't left my house in like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's how it is. Like, unless you're going to work, there's absolutely, like, just don't take the risk. And I don't ever want to get the fucking test done again, because that was, like, mad painful.
Yeah, I'm not looking
Was
forward
it?
to that.
Yeah, like, my nose bled afterwards.
Ugh. Oh god.
Good God. Well, on to better things, D. Now that you're back, now those bookshelves are going to show up, you're going to set everything up, and I
Yeah.
hope that you're going to start killing it very, very quickly. I believe in you.
Yeah,
Matt-
and then you guys can see my face.
Yes. Matt, what have you been up to? How are
Yeah,
things?
Matt.
It's been a roller coaster, honestly. Like, especially because, like, with Destiny leaving at the end of February, well, beginning of March, like, we both finished out our contracts at our previous workplace. So I'm living that unemployment life right now. It's a really weird feeling because I haven't been without a job for a few years now, right? Obviously, working where Destiny and I did. I feel very weird. It's just like I I don't know. My anxiety and everything has been super all over the place. Like saying bye to Destiny and Natasha and saying bye to the kids and stuff, like really sucked. Like
Yeah.
really bad. I got really, really close to a lot of those kids and seeing them for 2 years pretty much every day. Right? Like I grew very attached to them. And now just to kind of have all that gone, it sucks. And like I know it's the right time. I know it's the time to move on, but it just doesn't make it any easier.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just a really weird feeling. Like I keep wanting to do stuff now that I'm, out of work, but I just haven't really had the energy to. Like I feel like I've been kind of emotionally really, really all over the place. Like I go from one day feeling okay to the next day being like shit. Like I keep feeling like I should be doing something. Like I have something to do. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
I should be at work right now, right? Like I should be doing something else, right? Like I've been running every day. I started last Tuesday and I haven't missed a day, which I'm really proud of myself about because like
That's
I was kind
awesome.
of like I'm gonna do
I'm proud
more
of you too. I've been seeing your little updates. I'm like, oh, look
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah, and like I haven't ran like this in like years. So like the first couple days my body's like, the hell are you doing? What? Why? And I feel like that's also attributing to me being kind of tired and everything because like my body's adjusting to, using it properly for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like we know that our time here in Korea is it's coming to an end, right? Like we haven't set a date to go back home yet because Canada's restrictions are all over the fucking place and they want to shove us in a hotel for 3 days and spend money out the ass to do it. So we're kind of just trying to wait and see how rules will change. My mom had to call like the helpline and speak to an to one of the representatives, and he basically told her that he doesn't have all the answers and to just kind of wait. So that was great to find out. You'd think if you're calling like a federal helpline, they'd tell you more than I don't know. But yeah, like I'm trying to kind of build up the nerve to do more. I don't know. Like I felt very, very weird. I've been playing a bunch of games. I've been watching a bunch of anime. I've started reading manga again for the first time in a while. Like I'm just trying to keep myself busy, but like I also kind of feel bad about it because I want to be more productive than what I'm doing now. Like,
but
now
half
that I
of
have
the
time,
benefit of unemployment is just doing whatever you want for a little while.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm trying to tell myself. Like, it's only been a week, right? Like a
Mhm.
week and a bit. But like I want to start doing more video content, which is kind of, bringing us around to kind of the next phase for us, right? Like I mean, now that we're kind of more free, like I'm going to start doing much more video content, kind of like, a news style show a couple times a week. And I'm thinking episodes won't be longer than like 3, 4, or 5 minutes, just kind of taking a couple different news stories and just kind of, putting my take on them in video form. The podcast, we're going to start transitioning it to video as well in the next couple of weeks. About just, getting our faces a little more out there, getting us to being a little bit more used to being on camera. And like that's kind of the next step for us, as we kind of continue to grow. We're at like I think 82 subscribers now, so like over the past couple of weeks we've jumped more than 25,
which is amazing.
Which is great for us, trying to get to that 100, so that we can get our custom channel name. So if you haven't subbed to us on YouTube yet, even if you don't want to watch any of our videos, please just go throw us a sub.
Even if you hate us.
Even if you I don't know why you're an hour into this podcast. Yeah. Hate sub to us, please. We have some, some cool stuff in the works. We are going to have more guests on. And I've been doing a little bit more networking and just trying to talk to more people online and on Twitter. Just to kind of, continue to get our names out there. But yeah, it's been hard the last week and a bit. Like, I feel like I've just been kind of, like, I feel like my motivation's lacking. I feel just kind of, and it's even like, I'm finding it harder to kind of talk to people and stuff. Like I keep pushing myself to do it because I know that I need to, but like, I don't know. I have a hard time dealing with change. And especially now that we're kind of this in between point where I'm not working because, my contract's done, but we're still here for the time being because it's not a great idea for us to go back to Canada at this point. Like, it's just kind of this middle gray area that like I want to take better advantage of, but like
Not
I
much you
just
can
haven't
do.
emotionally been able to, if that makes sense.
No, I
Yeah.
feel you. Like it's been a really hard transition. Like I just feel like the last like 2 to 3 weeks has been like one of the hardest in my life.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just been like really stressful. And like some days I'm okay, and then some days I'll just start crying. It's just a really weird feeling. And then like I just feel like we got so close in like those 2 years. And even though like the last year was a little different because we were both on different floors, like I don't know, it's just like this fear that like nothing's ever going to be the same, which it makes sense, but like in a way that like is negative. Like I'm like
Yeah.
nervous about it, you know?
Yeah.
I agree. And like I kind of feel like that really started, Darren, when you left. Like I had a really
Yeah.
hard time dealing with you leaving Korea. Like it was not easy. You know, even though we weren't together all the time, even just like, you know, when we'd run into each other, you know, like
It's
walking
still
around the streets and
nice.
stuff, like it's just like this
Yeah.
feeling of a piece of home. And even now, D,
Yeah.
that like that you've left, right? Like, you know, we didn't live that far away from each other. It kind of feels like that area is a little bit more empty now. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It just sucks, right? And like
It's
change
weird.
change
Me and
is hard
Natasha
to
were
deal
talking about it. Yeah. Like we
Change is
can't
just-
just jump on the train to go see you. Like it take
Yeah.
us like what, like 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Change is
Darren, when
just-
you left, a lot changed. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you
No,
off,
no.
Matt. Like it like literally like you leaving, and I guess I kind of had a feeling that that's what was going to happen once you left.
Mhm.
Not to say you were the glue that held us together, but you were
Guys,
the
stop
glue
flattering
that
me.
held. No, I'm
For
just
real,
saying,
though,
like
dude. Yeah.
you were like the glue that kind of held like that group of people together. Like I'm not going to go too much into it, but
Yeah.
like by the end of the year, we like me, Matt, and Nat, we were no longer on speaking terms with those people.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
just
Yeah,
crazy how much it changed. Yeah.
kind of you
it's
leaving
weird
felt
to
like the
think
end of
about.
like the golden era, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
But
what I was gonna say is that
ahead.
like just because things are different doesn't mean that it will be worse, right?
Mhm.
Like I know it's easy for me to say, but you know, I think that because Destiny, you were saying you're worried that things are never going to be the same, and it's like, well, I mean, they can't be the same, obviously, because we're not in a physical space together, but we're still meeting every week. We're still going to be talking with each other. We're still going to be in each other's lives, and hopefully, you know, this virus isn't going to be like here forever. So like I can actually come visit. Like that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like I've never
Chitlins.
been to I've never been
No
to that part of the
chitlins.
U.S. I've never been to that part of the U.S. I want to go. So like that'd be super awesome. I'd love that. You can come to Canada. Like we'll hang out. It'll be a good time.
Get married.
I didn't say
It would
that.
be good. I just can't wait. Wait, what? I didn't even hear. Shut up, Matt. I just can't wait for us to be together again. Like
Yeah.
all of us like in the same place. Like
Yeah.
that'll be like really nice. And I'll probably cry like when I
Yeah.
see you guys again.
And then you'll make me
Yeah,
cry.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just, you know, it's just adjusting to change, right? Like I know things will get better, and I know things will, you know, we'll adjust to the difference. It just takes time, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I believe in us, and I believe in this thing that we're doing. So like, I don't think we're anywhere close to, you know, not being in the same place again, because I do think that'll happen as we continue to grow and expand. I think that, you know, we have a real chance at this. It's just
Right.
that in between is just it's
Yeah.
difficult, right? And like I'm not good at dealing with change, but that's life, and it's an unavoidable part of life, right? So like
Well, I think
We'll get
this
through-
just shows how much we love each other. Like,
we'll get through
Yeah.
it together. You know
it's
what I mean?
crazy because I don't love a lot of people.
Yeah, I know you
So-
love a lot of people.
But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. And I think
Well-
we're like gonna do great things. I I believe in you, Matt. And like I told you when we were at dinner at TP, you're a white male, so you're gonna go far, and I'm gonna be right behind you. So
We are gonna go far together, arm in arm, chitlins in mouths,
no
clean shoes on feet, freshly washed.
Hopefully. Freshly washed shoes.
We're
I threw those shoes away, by the way. Those shoes do not exist with
good.
me anymore.
I wanted to frame those things and keep them in our eventual studio.
No, those shoes will saw their last days being washed. They're up in some washing machine in heaven right now.
All right, guys. On to bigger and better things. Videos coming very soon. We're going to have a video podcast along with all the audio that you know and love. We're going to have a lot more video content coming. Just get ready for it while we get ready for
silent
it.
Film.
right.
We should do that one day, though. That's a good idea.
We talk with our faces.
Let's talk about some news before we round out. Let's talk about some news. Let's end on some newsy stuff. The first article that I'm pulling from comes from IGN. It says new Nintendo Switch with larger screen, 4K output reportedly in the works. This comes from Adam Bankhurst. Nintendo is allegedly set to reveal a new model for the Nintendo Switch with a bigger Samsung OLED display later this year. That will be able to output 4K ultra high definition graphics when in docked mode. As reported by Bloomberg, Nintendo is planning to unveil this new model in hopes that the larger touchscreen can prop up demand in time for the holidays. Darren, what's your read on a bigger, better Switch?
Yo, they've been predicting a bigger, better Switch for 2 goddamn years. Like, I'm not even fully convinced that. I mean, I'm very not fully convinced that it's even coming out this year. Like, I'll believe that shit when I see it. Like, and if they do, I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, it's actually, the Switch has been out for 4 years. This is 4th year.
Yeah.
And Nintendo, unlike Sony and Microsoft, have actually liked, for the most part, to stick to the 5-year console cycle, even into these later generations. But I think the reason, if they do it this year, the reason they're doing an upgrade earlier is because I can see them wanting to stick with the Switch platform for like a longer period of time because the Switch is being so successful. And because it's that hybrid handheld console, they're going to treat it like they're handhelds, which means like a million goddamn versions of it.
New Switch 3D XL Pro.
Exactly. I just hope that they don't make exclusive software. And if anything, it's just like, at least for the next couple years, it's like enhanced on Switch Pro, not like exclusive to Switch Pro.
I don't know. I think they're going to do it. I think that, like, I don't know, with Bloomberg reporting on it, that kind of raises the credibility for me. I'm with you that I don't know if it'll launch this year. I can see them very easily waiting till drop it in March alongside Breath of the Wild 2 kind of thing as like their 5-year anniversary. Like, oh, here's Breath of the Wild 2 and a new Switch. Let's do this all over again. You know, with a new Pokemon next year, with Splatoon coming next year, and them having the kind of like their 2017 all over again. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to wait longer than a year to start putting exclusive software on it. Like, the Switch is starting to struggle. Like, even playing Bowser's Fury handheld, it was clipping and like the frame rate was dropping. So like that, the Switch is starting to kind of buckle under its own weight a little bit here. And like, I feel
I just got one. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I know, I got one there's still so much 2 years ago, so I'd be upset as well.
I have 2 of them. Matt.
Hey, that's on you. That was your choice.
That's
I know.
Still
well,
so
getting
funny.
the first one was my choice too.
That's true.
There's still a lot to play, and I still think it will be supported, Darren. I think you're right that like it will be supported for the foreseeable future. I just do think we're going to start seeing exclusive content for that newer system sooner rather than later, even if it's third-party stuff. Like them bringing
if I compare it to the new 3DS, I think that console has something like 4 games that are exclusive to it. Like, it's not a lot.
That's not that bad at all.
So maybe they will. One of those games is Xenoblade Chronicles. And I do have that version of Xenoblade Chronicles. So
there you go.
I will probably end up buying a Switch Pro.
What about you? Are you going to pick up another Switch if they drop another Animal Crossing Switch Pro?
No. I am not. I probably won't pick it up until like much. You know, I'm very late when it comes to picking up consoles. Like I still use my
patient gamer.
PS3.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I still use my, because I gave the one that I had in Korea to Cody, and he like modded it, so now he can play like PS1 games on it.
Cool.
Nice.
Good for him.
But yeah, I still use my PS3. I still have my Wii, which I never play. I still have my PSP, which I never play. I bought the PS Vita when we were in.
Never.
I never play. I have my Game Boy Advance, which I never play. So, yeah, because I'm more of a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why it takes me a long time to like, and you know what? If Matt hadn't like talked up the Switch, I probably never would have gotten it.
Matt's
Well,
very
now
And
you're
persuasive.
that's not me like blaming you or anything. Like I'm
No,
not
no.
upset with my like purchase, but like if he hadn't talked it up, I like would never have gotten it.
Well, the Switch to me has been very good for like indie games. So if you like indie games, which I know you
Yep.
do, that's a really good thing
Yeah.
to play a lot of indie games on the go.
Yep, I agree.
But
All
I
right.
never play games on the go. That's, you know what I mean? Like if I'm playing it, I'm in my house.
That's true too. Well,
That's
then
true.
never mind.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of on the go the last year either, right? So I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
part
Yeah.
of life. Moving on to another story from IGN, and I'm going to kind of combine it with a story from Tom's Guide because it's going to be a bit of a get this free on PlayStation. The other story from IGN comes from Logan Plant, and the story from Tom's Guide comes from Marshall Honoroff. So on IGN it says, Play at Home has now begun. Sony is bringing back its Play at Home initiative, offering select games and entertainment for free from March through June. First up, Ratchet & Clank, the 2016 reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, will be free for all PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 owners throughout March, including
I'm
players
confused at the play at home thing. Like where else would you be playing it?
It's an initiative that they started last year because of
What?
Corona,
Okay.
I think, kind of like basically being
okay.
because people were stuck.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I just didn't get the point of that.
Well, it was funny.
Well, because it's on the he said PS4 and PS5, so where else
Yeah.
are you gonna play it?
I know. That's a good observation. I like that observation.
Thank you.
That's true. Yeah, so they're offering Ratchet and Clank. Even if you don't have PlayStation Plus, you can go and pick it up. You can keep it forever. Once you do, there's no strings attached to it. Seemingly, we'll get more from this initiative over the next few months. I loved that version of Ratchet and Clank. I thought it was beautiful and a ton of fun. I'm curious to see what we'll get next. Darren, any thoughts on what else might come to the Play at Home initiative?
Do you remember what we got last year for Play at Home? Because I don't remember.
The Uncharted Nathan Drake collection was the only thing that I think we got last year, but it seems like they're kind of expanding on it this year.
It sounds like they'll get more. So if we do, I think Ratchet and Clank will be like the highest profile thing that we get. And I think anything we get after will probably be... What?
So sorry, just to fact check myself. It was only for a month last year, less than, and we got Uncharted Nathan Drake and Journey. Those are the two.
Right. Okay, I think this year we're going to get 3 games. We're going to get one more game than last year. And I think that the other 2 are going to be indie games like Journey. Like, I don't think we're going to get another like AAA studio, big budget, blah, 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 $79.99 or $69.99, where the hell you live in the US, that kind of game.
I think that we could see something like Horizon come to this initiative, with the sequel kind of coming around the corner, and that game right now is like $20-$25 anyway. I think we'll probably get a game a month. I think we'll get something in April, May, June if they said that this is going to run March through June. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some older first-party exclusives come through this. Stuff like Horizon, maybe even Days Gone, stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we get stuff along those lines.
Maybe Horizon, not Days Gone. I guarantee you're not going to get a bunch because those are all games you already get for free for buying a PS5. They'll devalue their offer on PS5 if they give out that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, Horizon's not part of that PS5 block, so I wouldn't be surprised if they offered it.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what else we'll get. And to kind of to build on that, I was going to say compound, and I couldn't figure out how to say compound. So to compound on that story from Tom's Guide, PlayStation Plus for March has finally been announced. You can get Final Fantasy VII Remake, Remnant from the Ashes, Maquette, and Far Point. Just a little bit of an asterisk. Be aware that the PS Plus version of Final Fantasy VII Remake will not be eligible for the PS5 patch coming in June. And you cannot also buy the add-on DLC. So if you are interested in that expanded version coming to PS5 in June, you're going to have to buy the game outright instead of getting the PlayStation Plus version because you will not be able to upgrade. But, man, what a month. What a great month.
That's
Even
a good month.
I'm excited for you.
Destiny, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I know, we have a PS4 here.
Then
there you go.
If you have a PS4,
Plus, you can play that shit.
Go get it for free. Destiny.
I know.
And you can play it.
Yeah.
For longer than that hour you played it at Darren's house.
It was longer than an hour. I played
it was like a couple
the
hours.
first whole chapter.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's the whole first chapter. I think you did the second chapter too, if I remember correctly. You made it all the way to Tifa's bar.
Oh yeah, I did. I did the first 2 chapters.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good times.
Yeah,
it was
great month.
Times.
Happy about it. It's had a couple good months in a row now, so I hope they keep it up. Let's see what else they do. And remember that what was it? Destruction All Stars is still available for PS5 owners throughout March. That's a game that came out this year. I played it for a little bit and then never went back to it. But it is there if you want it. If you're curious.
I remember when they announced that game, and we're talking about our things that we saw when they first announced it, and I was like, that game looks like trash. And you're like, Darren, just give it some time before you judge it. Well, it's trash.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm not a huge fan. You know what? This next story is going to be our last one. I wanted to talk about the Pokemon Direct, but I will save that for next week because I want to get hype about it, and we're going to, while also being worried about it. So we'll save that. We'll save the Pokemon Direct conversation for next week. But the last story that we're going to close out on comes from IGN. Marvel's Avengers developer clarifies XP progression changes. Fans remain unconvinced. This is coming from Matt TM Kim. So I'm going to start with the original story, and then I'll circle back around to the clarification. Sure. Matt writes, leveling up your heroes in Marvel's Avengers will take longer after Crystal Dynamics announced it will be changing the way that XP progression works. On March 18th, the newest DLC character, Hawkeye, is set to be released alongside the next-gen versions of the game. But Crystal Dynamics is also changing up some key progression mechanics along with how random cosmetic drops work. So basically, they go on to say that their current XP progression curve isn't a curve, it's a flat line that you can basically level up, in their eyes, too quickly. So what they're going to be doing instead is they're going to make it more of a grind for you to reach higher levels with your characters. And keep in mind that the way Marvel's Avengers works is that each character has their own progression tree, meaning you need to level up them all separately to be able to level them up. A lot of people were like, are you serious? They're making this already grindy game with not enough content even grindier, and people were not happy. So they came back out and they said Crystal Dynamics has clarified how XP progression will change Marvel's Avengers, accepting that it had caused confusion in the first announcement. They write, we did not change XP to increase grind for grind's sake. Our initial blog was not comprehensive enough to convey what we were doing and why, so we caused confusion. We get it. They basically go on to say that lower levels will level up faster, while higher levels will take longer. It estimates
Isn't that how it always goes in games, though? Like, the higher you get, the harder it is to level because it takes more XP to level.
Right. But the problem is,
okay.
essentially, hold on. So it basically it says now it estimates that it'll take 2 to 4 missions to level up at the higher levels, while now you can maybe get once or so per mission. So it's going to take 3 to 5. Crystal Dynamics expects that reaching maximum levels with heroes will take 3 to 5 hours longer than it was before.
Okay.
So basically, while Destiny, yes, you're right. In most RPGs and in most games, as you level up higher, it'll cost more XP for you to level up because you're reaching higher levels. The fundamental issue with doing it now in Avengers is that like that game has had enough problems, and you have to level each character individually. And that game has a lot of issues with how much content is there. So it feels very disingenuous for them to say, we know we don't have a lot, but just to make our game feel longer, we're going to make it more difficult for you to do it, rather than them fixing the actual problems of the game, which is that there's not enough content. And Darren, I see you're ready to pop off, so I'm going to throw it over to you. How do you feel about Avengers getting grindier?
What's wrong with them? What the hell are they thinking? First of all, them saying that this is to stop confusion makes no sense if you're leveling up faster in the early levels when people are going to be more likely confused. There's no confusion at higher levels when you've already put 10 hours into the game. That is just marketing speak for people who are not playing our game long enough, and rather than us being able to make content fast enough to stop people from being bored because your game's crap, they're actually saying, we are going to take the easy way out and force you to play longer to try and find any sense of gamer satisfaction. I am so happy I did not buy this game. Oh my god, this is a disaster.
I just look at this game and it's like the biggest unforced error. With Marvel being at the height that it's at now, how do you have an like Spider-Man succeeding in every way? How do you screw up an Avengers game? Well, I guess you try and make it live service, right? Like that's it upsets me because I feel like there are good parts to the campaign. I did enjoy the campaign as a whole. And like the gameplay itself is not bad, but like this game came out like a year too early. There should have been way more stuff to do, and more than just like a couple different enemy types. Even still, with like Hawkeye coming out, people were like, oh my god, they're doing like this future imperfect thing, right? You're gonna go and still fight AIM in the future. Like
couldn't even come up with new enemies.
It's just like, I don't know how you screw this game up this badly.
If you want a live service game that is good, you need content. And all of these publishers are forcing developers to make these games that are too complicated to make like a consistent
within
content
the time
schedule.
frame.
Yeah. It takes way too much effort to create something to push in this game. And someone online made a joke that I've never noticed, but I thought it's really funny, is like, this is the third game that starts with A, that's a live service, that's going to die. First was Anthem, second was Artifact, and now it's going to be Avengers. So maybe just don't make a live service game that starts with the letter A. Maybe you should have called it Bavengers, and you would have been better.
Maybe you should have called it BBG.
Maybe you should have just said the Avengers, and maybe it
the
gotten
there you go. Yeah,
the Avengers.
Put the T.
Yeah.
But I think most of these problems come from like it's like when a producer like produces a movie and like, but they're not directing it, but they're trying to change a bunch of things, and they don't listen to like the people who are like under them who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they just want to see a return on their money. They don't fucking care.
For sure. This is Square Enix to blame, because they took Eidos Montreal that makes the Deus Ex games, which maybe aren't as other people, Alistair, don't like them as much as the original Deus Exes, but I think they're good games. And they took Crystal Dynamics that make the Tomb Raider games that are also really good, and they took both of those studios away from making really good games to force them to make this live service game. I have no doubt in my mind that it's Square Enix who's publishing that forced them into this situation.
Yeah, because like looking at both of their histories of Crystal and Eidos, they've made fantastic games. And like I said, there is a good game somewhere in here that's just being strangled to death by live service. And like that's the biggest issue here, right? Like their cosmetics are expensive. The game does not feel rewarding. Like if they had just instead gone the Spider-Man route, made an actual Avengers game and threw on DLC afterwards, like this game could have lived for a long time on its own standing, rather than them making it grindier because they want you to play longer because gamers are confused. I think this is such a shit take.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not hard to fucking understand. Play our game more, please. But
Ugh.
that brings us to the end of the show. We will keep you updated as more Avengers stuff happens, because like I want so badly for that game to have a No Man's Sky type turnaround story if they can figure out what their actual problems are rather than just trying to circumvent the issue. But we'll find out. We're going to keep you locked. We'll keep you posted. So keep your eyes on our channel. We're going to have much more video content coming very, very soon. The podcast will be going video in a couple of weeks. We have some cool guests in the works to join us for some more ridiculousness. Darren, I want to thank you again for joining myself. And is there anything else that you want to get off your chest before we close out?
I'm sorry for yelling, but I just love the Avengers so much, and I want them to be treated nicely.
I understand. Destiny, what about you?
No.
Good talk. All right.
Okay.
And that... Oh, we didn't even talk about Mario Day. Mario Day's coming. Yay. Celebrate Mario. There's sales and stuff. Go check it out. But
that was great.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, share, because you to keep it locked. We have much more coming very, very soon. Darren, I'm going to ask you to say bye.
Bye.
Destiny, I'm going to ask you to say bye.
Bye.
We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Deuces.
Later.
Matt, last time you...
Fuck no, you ain't never
Did you
smelled
hear
no
that?
goddamn chitlins.